The National Children's and Youth Law Centre, in conjunction with the Australian Catholic University, have created a series of videos to assist students and young people to understand their rights and responsibilities as a tenant. I'm going away on holidays for several months. Can I sublet my room? Susan has planned a 3-month holiday in Nepal during the uni break. She currently lives in a shared house with 3 other people. Susan has her name on the lease and bond with the other co-tenants. Susan gets on well with her housemates and likes how close her house is to uni. She doesn't want to give up her room, but she can't afford to pay the rent for 3 months and travel. Susan wants to know if she can sublet her room to a close friend. Susan can sublet her room if she gets the written permission of her landlord. It would also be a good idea if Susan spoke to her housemates and arranged for them to meet a friend. She needs to provide details about her friend to the landlord and her co-tenants so that they can feel comfortable that Susan's friend won't damage the house and that the friend is reliable enough to pay the rent while Susan is away. Entering into arrangements with friends can seem like a good idea, but sometimes they can end badly. So that Susan doesn't come home to find that she owes her co-tenants rent and her room damaged, it would be a good idea if Susan and her friend draft an agreement between them and both sign it. That way Susan's financial arrangements and belongings are protected and she'll keep a good friend. The agreement could include how long the friend can stay, how much rent the friend has to pay each week and to what person, and who is responsible for damage that the friend makes. Susan may want to ask for the first month's rent in advance as a further protection. To protect herself, Susan also needs to make sure that she takes notes of their agreement and provides her friend with enough information so that her friend knows what her rights and responsibilities are while she stays in Susan's room. If Susan is subletting her room furnished, Susan should lock away any expensive or personal items in a safe place before she goes away on holiday. She should also take photos of her room in case her friend damages it. Susan will remain as a co-tenant on the lease and will be responsible for any damage to the property caused by her friend and any unpaid rent that her friend fails to pay. If this happens, Susan would have to go to her local court to get the money back from her friend. Susan will need to show evidence when she goes to court to try and get the debt paid. This could be a copy of the agreement between Susan and her friend, bank statements, and photos that show if there's any damage. To recover the money, Susan must convince the court that there was an agreement between her and her friend, that her friend didn't honour the agreement, and that money is now owed to Susan. Remember, everyone's lease and rental questions are different, and the law changes often. If you have a specific question about your housing arrangements, please send us an email. You can read more about the National Children's and Youth Law Centre and what we do by visiting the web address provided. The information contained in this video is general and is not intended to be advice on any matter. If you have a specific question, please email us at the details given.